What's good? Porter Rock here for OkayPlayerTV. We're here in Harlem, USA, which is appropriate because we recently had a chance to sit down with Immortal Technique, great Harlem MC Immortal Technique, at Rock the Bells 2010 over at Governor's Island. Real interesting interview. I think you got some things here that you never heard from her before, some things you never seen, so check it out right here, OkayPlayerTV, Immortal Technique, Rock the Bells 2010.
Charlie getting nothing for free. And if you devils play broke, you'll be taking your company. You can call it reparation or restitution. Lock and load, nigga. Industrial revolution. When I say hip, everybody say hop. Hip, hip. When I say fuck, everybody say cops. Fuck, 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 fuck.
I noticed in an interview recently you mentioned that there was a difference between an activist and a revolutionary.
Right.
You said you would explain that at a later date.
I hate to say it, but because it's more like an activist. They're very similar in nature, you know what I mean? I just think that they have different styles and different approaches to it. I believe activists look at working within the system, and a revolutionary looks at it as, look, we can work within the system, and I'll ride with you on this, but if the system doesn't change, then it has to be broken, ripped apart, and sometimes even the threat of that leverage is enough to do it. And I'm going to remind people, revolution is not to be romanticized. You know, after studying it, after having family members who lived through it, and violence all over the world that I've seen and personally witnessed, I realized that in all revolutions, innocent people died, innocent women are raped, innocent people's property is stolen. And yet, through all that misery, people are willing to take that risk only because there's a slim chance that there might be a better future for them and their children. But at the same time, it's like, you know, I understand and expect you to be skeptical. Over the years, I've dedicated myself to really putting up and saying, that's what I said, I'm gonna follow through with this. I said that I was going to Afghanistan. I'm not gonna just throw money at a problem. I'm not just gonna talk about Haiti, I'm gonna go there. Because there is no Latin American revolution without the Haitian revolution. It's the prequel to that, you know what I mean? You don't understand that book without this one. It's like the Old Testament to our revolution, you know? Before you soon understand Simon Bolivar, you have to understand François Toussaint and Dessalines and that power dynamic, the shift and the way they played off the dark-skinned Africans and the so-called mulatto. That's a very racist term, but that's what they called them. That's the same thing they did to indigenous people and the so-called mestizos, the way they play off indigenous people now against Latinos, Mexicans, against so-called Mexican Americans, people that have lost their identity and know who the fuck they are. Wake up, man, you're a human being. Stop treating people like that, yo. Because one day, you're gonna turn around and you're gonna realize that you painted yourself into a corner. You know? And you're not a better human being just because you were born, you came out of a pussy somewhere in fucking Oklahoma, rather than a few hundred miles away.
When I say front, everybody say lines. Front, front. Yo, listen. Hold on. They said that the success of my music was theoretic, but my revenge is sweet enough to murder diabetics. Eugenics, Procter & Gamble, credit racial science couldn't produce a more aggressive intellectual giant. Nephilim, bury him with the bullets left in him. My heart is blacker than the children of Thomas Jefferson, blacker than back in the days of the Torrent veteran, a cancerous endocrine, the eagle-ass American, the hatchet and the sticks, the fascist emblem. You could call it conspiracy theory. I don't give a motherfuck. You can get your motherfucked. National security's a code word for cover up. Hold that down. I look at character. Never let the color get to you. I got white revolutionaries like Muslims in Chechnya, percussion thumping like the Russian mafia over you. But even they know what it's like when you fighting for Svoboda. So with a Slavic or Islamic, vodka, gin tonic, drunken fantasies are cool, son. But here's the grim logic. You rappers want to play industry and start to be rich until they fuck you for millions. Like Paul McCartney's bitch. My lions live inside a box like Jumanji. Sick niggas that'll stab you up like Indira Gandhi. So never desecrate the space on which I meditate. My thoughts rip through tank on with metal plate and start to resonate to the spot where Moses caused the sea to separate, the place that the prophet Muhammad started to levitate, the exact moment that Jesus rose dead awake, and Siddhartha became the Buddha that regenerates. Half a bar over, but I bring it home colder than dead soldiers. Soul controller, holder of knowledge. So fuck Dianetics. I'm like the whole library in Kemet with Anunnaki genetics. Make some motherfucking noise, New York City.